Season 1 may not be the best season, but I don't think it's the worst either. The episodes were pretty simplistic, show more as the growing pains of learning how to write the characters, introducing them, getting a feel for the world and tone of the show, and of course, the animation at its simplest. Yet despite its bare bones feel in comparison to later seasons, there's a reason this show blew up. It did a lot of things other shows didn't do, such as in the morals or what it did with its stories. The characters were wonderful, and what they managed to do with the animation was delightful. Here's why Season 1 was better than you may remember. Suited for Success is a good time and a great intro episode for Rarity's character. I love how each of the characters express themselves through what they like fashion-wise. Fluttershy's approach is so opposite to her nature, which is an interesting note. Applejack is way too practical, which leads to some fun AJ humor. And of course, Rainbow has that famous line, "The customer may always be right, but professionals know what they're doing. Trust them." The song is also a lot of fun, and Rarity shows off her fabulous singing voice. Who doesn't love Dragonshy? It's the first episode where Fluttershy truly shined. She may be a shy introvert, but don't mess with her friends. Just seeing this little scared pony take on the big, tough dragon is too fun. I also enjoyed seeing how the others' methods went, which led to some good humor and fun animation. Don't forget about that fun montage scene. This is also our first introduction to dragons outside of Spike, and it's an interesting one. I suppose I could mention Hot Skip and a Jump, which is sort of a song. It's cute, and Fluttershy's stuck pose. It had good pacing, a good structure, some nice moments of humor. It's a good episode. Origin story time. This was the second episode of the show I ever watched. The first was the first part of the pilot. I'd say Sonic Rainboom was a great introductory episode. I'd still recommend it today. It gave us a glimpse into Rainbow's fears and her weaknesses as a character. We got to explore Cloudsdale for the first time, see the Rainbow Factory, learn that rainbows are spicy, got to see Rarity with those pretty butterfly wings, and of course, the Sonic Rainboom. Also the cheering joke. It's easy to get wrapped up in your own mind, especially when people you admire are there watching you. I'm glad Rainbow was able to show off her awesome self and overcome her fears. It's the whining, complaining, and dogs. A Dog and Pony Show was Rarity's first spectacular episode. Suited for Success may have done well to introduce her, but this made her a favorite to many. The expectation was that she'd play the role of damsel, but no. She's a mare who takes charge. She uses her wits and, in a sense, stereotype as a whiny, annoying girl to fight back against her captives. Also, Spike's little hero fantasies. He was pretty immature back then and has grown so much since the first seasons. It's like looking back at photos of adults as kids and going, "Aw, isn't that precious?" I wish we got to see more of the Diamond Dogs, but what are you going to do? At least the one episode we had them in was amazing. I love this episode. It's almost perfect. I'd say the one thing holding Griffin the brush off back is Gilda a little bit because she does come off kind of generic. But that's not the point of the episode. It's about dealing with bad friends. The way it depicts everything in this episode feels so realistic. From Twilight trying to justify Gilda's behavior, despite having no idea who she truly is, or even having any sense of the situation Pinkie is talking about, to the way Gilda manipulates Rainbow. It makes sense Twilight would do this since this was before she knew anything about friendship and didn't see much in Pinkie at all. Even Rainbow thought she was some annoying girl who's too pushy. It's all so true to life, and how people can easily get stuck in bad relationships, or how we convince ourselves that those like Gilda aren't so bad even when it's obvious they are. Because who wants to believe their friend isn't also good? Who wants to acknowledge their behavior as being harmful? To Rainbow, Gilda never hurt her. Why would she ever think she's bad? It's perfectly structured and written, first showing the healthy friendship and behavior with Pinkie, and the unhealthy with Gilda. A mean Griffin who wants to control Rainbow. Her time, who she hangs out with, and what they do. She determines who and what's cool enough for them, and she will take down anyone who gets in her way. But it's more than showing the difference between healthy and unhealthy friendships. It also shows Pinkie dealing with it in her amazing Pinkie way. And, more importantly, Rainbow standing up against Gilda. She recognizes that Gilda isn't the person she thought she was, and tells her to get out. If Gilda doesn't treat her friends like she does her, then what kind of friend is she really? It's an important lesson that says not all people can be friends, and you may make bad friends along the way. How you should tell these people to get out of your life. I could go on about how amazing it is for a first season episode, but this was meant to be quick. Still, I had to make time for this shining star. Fall Weather Friends is a good episode and a great intro to Rainbow and Applejack's friendship. Love the competition in the beginning and how they try to take one another down, but in the end settle their differences and learn to have a good time. It had some really good moments. Swarm of the Sentry is so good. It's simple, but it utilizes that simplicity so well. It easily could have been half the time and still gotten the point across, yet it managed to make the most of its time and give us a delightful episode. Cutie Mark Chronicles is a cute origin story with cutie marks. Each one makes sense, and I like how that one sonic Rainboom united them all. It's a sweet touch. Party of One. Famous for that face, but everything before that is good too. I enjoyed the investigation Pinkie type episodes like this, or ones where all or some of her friends are involved, but it's clearly a solo Pinkie adventure. I love Rarity and Fluttershy's dynamic as friends. I really wish we got to see more of it because Green Isn't Your Color does such a great job showing it. Jealousy episodes can turn sour, but MLP shows us how it can be done right. It's awesome what MLP accomplished with this season. Even though it's the simplest, it stands out in its own way. Join me tomorrow as I talk about my top favorites from my favorite season.